Another day in the markets. It's Friday, May 16th. It is a Friday, so I'm being very aware of that. But my goal today is to not lose. And whether that means I don't trade at all, that's a win for me today. If I see a perfect setup, all the confluences I want to see, break, retests, into fair value gaps, rejection. I need to see everything. I can't just enter off one. If I know my entry plan, if I see everything I want to see, then I will enter. If I don't, I'm not entering. Even if I get 3 out of the 5 confluences, even if I get 4 out of the 5 confluences, today I need to see all confluences to want to enter the trade. So I turned it on a little bit early. Market opens in 3 minutes, but I've just been seeing crazy manipulation already in the pre-market. So Nasdaq finally made that. Well, there it is. You can see on this push up here, we broke 5-minute structure and we tapped into this order block, breaker block, and a fair value gap, and we rejected from it. While the Nasdaq didn't even break 5-minute structure. So there's some that is crazy to me. It was just fun. In the last 10 minutes, I've just been watching the market, kind of seeing what it's wanted to do. Even up here at 8:30, we can see here on the S&P that here we have higher highs, and then on the Nasdaq we had lower highs. So, and then right after that, boom, lower highs, complete drop off. Again, right here we're pushing. Let's see if this one's still going down. I mean, look at the difference between those two charts. That's unbelievable. Yeah, we've been moving recently. We've been just these pushes up. My bias is favoring sells today. All right, we're recording again. Yeah, it keeps crapping out. Well, I'm gonna try to figure out a way. Maybe when I hide this. Nope, that's definitely not it. All right, so we're back. Let me hide this now. Great. All right, we'll see what this does here. Yeah, so I feel very bearish on the day. We have a daily liquidity, but I don't think this week we're gonna want to get all the way up to here on a Friday. I think it's more likely that we fill some of the imbalances to the downside. So I definitely have a bearish bias today. I realized in these videos, man, at the start of every video, I say my bias, and so far, I've been correct every single time. But I'll take a trade contrary to my bias in the morning. So that is something I definitely learned from the last few days, that I have been decently good so far predicting what direction I think the market wants to go. I just am not putting my money where my mouth is. So that is something that has to change. And I feel very bearish on the day. We had a lot of low-level liquidity in this zone right here, and then at 8:30 wiped it all out. This right here, we took out another low-level liquidity, made a push back up to the upside. Now we're selling. Let's see the Nasdaq. See, that is look at this manipulation. Look at this. That is unbelievable. I feel that actually makes me feel even better about it being a bearish day, because we grabbed liquidity one more time on the Nasdaq. S&P not even close. That is unbelievable. Let me see on the actual S&P, because I'm on the micros. No, literally the same. Wow, that is unbelievable. Some people took a sell here. Stops hit right away. Wow. S&P's cooking right now. We'll see what it wants to do at 9:50. Again, I made the mistake yesterday, and my trading plan is I cannot trade before 9:50, and that is something that I need to start sticking to. And not even I need to start sticking to, but I need to just as I was saying yesterday, man, control the things I can control. I can set up everything perfectly and get stopped out. That's just part of the game. But if I'm losing because I'm completely breaking my trading plan, then that is on me, and that's something that I need to fix. And I was definitely, even yesterday throughout the day, I was I just felt kind of disappointed all day, a little bit sad all day, because I was like, man, that I knew what to do and I didn't do it. But here I'm sitting in a different chair. mind is sharp. I'm going to be patient. And again, I'm telling myself over and over that if I don't trade today, it's a winning day. So I've already won. I could literally sit and watch these charts for the next 30 minutes, and if I don't trade, it's a win. Dude, look at that. Wow. I'd say out of the entire week, I haven't seen manipulation this extreme. And I'm sure, like, you know, as the last, like, you know, this happens all the time, but at least in the last 3 days, I haven't seen this yet. We didn't even break 5-minute structure on the S&P. Where the NASDAQ, like, could destroy, like, completely broke this, went all the way up here, went into this gap. S&P didn't even touch that gap. We'll see what the market wants to do here. If we could make a 5-minute, this one closes in 1 minute, we can make another 5-minute fair value gap. If we can retest into that fair value gap, then I'll look for sells. As of right now, I'm not interested because we could easily grab liquidity because we have not yet grabbed 3 o'clock a.m. will be Asia. You mean right here? Let's go to 3. There you go. We have London session and Asian session lows here, so I definitely think we're going to grab liquidity here. It's just a matter of, are we then reversing to the upside today, or are we going to come retest the fair value gap and then continue to sell downwards? We're getting legs up on the S&P. Let's go look at the NASDAQ. We are also getting legs up. The S&P. Wow. Man, I feel so bad for people that got wicked out here. I mean, you might have gotten lucky. I think you're supposed to take the trade on the lagging index, if I'm right. So, if you saw the NASDAQ give this bearish move, but I don't know though, because let's say I did that. Well, I wouldn't have gotten wicked out, but this was the leading move right here. The S&P didn't do that. Oops, where did my minis go? What's going on? Did I just... No, it's not that. What the heck? I'm here just deleting stuff right now. Yeah, micro. What the heck? What the hecky? Definitely getting rid of that. Don't need that. Our markup's still going to be... Okay, good. Sorry. So what I was saying is, like, this right here was the leading move. So if I was to take... Let's say this, I was going to take a buy. I mean, I would be counter trend. But let's say I took a buy there. I would have gotten cooked. If I took a buy on the following index, I would have gotten, I would have gotten cooked. I wouldn't have actually gone up to here. So I'm still trying to figure. Those are kind of like the SMT stuff is stuff I'm trying to figure out. Like, I'm gonna watch some videos on it in the next week, and definitely gonna figure that out. But yeah, we'll see what happens. Yeah, today is last day of vacation, so checkout's at 11. I'm gonna see what the market wants to do, and in the meantime, but bags are packed and we're getting ready to leave. Which it was, man, vacation, just taking a break, even just kind of like, yeah, just kind of disconnecting for a little bit. There's nothing like it. It really was the best week ever. We had so much fun. Back to regular life now. We're gonna be heading out in the afternoon though, so we're checking out, leaving our bags downstairs, and then our ferry's at 3, so we're gonna be able to just kind of kick it. Get lunch and just kind of probably go on one more little bike ride. Then we'll return the bikes, grab our bags, get on the ferry, and then we're out. But that's kind of what it's looking like right now. So let's go look at the S&P again. We did not get any type of gap that I would like to see, but I am gonna mark out this as a confluence. We got a order block right there. I don't want. I would like to see it come in. I know this is part of it, but I would like to see it come up into here. And I'll move it down. We're gonna be real technical here. Boom. Order block there. We got right in here. We got a breaker block. Boom, right there. I'm gonna say I don't think we're gonna go back up there because we did invalidate it on. Oops. We did invalidate it on the NASDAQ. So, very unlikely that we'll want to come up there and invalidate it here. And if we do, we're cooked because, I mean, I'll leave him on. Oh, I can't. Crap, I don't think I can. I can. There we go. I'll leave him on. I guess just technically we did not invalidate it on the S&P. So technically on the S&P it's still invalidated, but I think it's more likely that it comes into here than it coming all the way up into here. Definitely some seller momentum is stalling out right now. See what it wants to do here. Very nice downtrend right now. We have excuse me. We have some low level liquidity here. Got a high there, a high there. On the NASDAQ, we took out that high. Grab liquidity there. So we have any low level? I mean, the high is up there. I mean, that was a wick out, so I mean, I'll still place that there. Yeah, we're definitely going to target these lows right here. And that will be the question, whether it will be a continuation, if we're going to just continue down, which I would like to see considering how much liquidity there is down here. Like, I mean, look, we've been moving up since yesterday. Excuse me. Yesterday at 5 a.m. So if you bought here, or I mean, we'll see here, you wouldn't have gotten you would still be in this trade. So I would definitely like to see some of this get removed. I would like to see how we react off of this level right here. That is the main thing I'm waiting for right now. We'll see if NASDAQ, did we take those out yet? No, not yet. We have not taken them out neither. And then what are these lows right here? Those are just, I think those might be, well, they're lows either way. We got lows there on the NASDAQ, lows here, and then I don't know, that might be an hourly, but I'll put it on the 5-minute right now, and we got lows right there. I got my lows right there, there. I got lows right there. Man, I would really like, ideally, if we take a sell, I couldn't just take, I mean, we'll see what it does here, because we definitely are going to grab that before we do anything else. But I would ideally love to see it pull back into here. I would go for this. If we pull back into here, I would take a sell down to here. Even these two right here before this, I think this might be like a 4-hour fair value gap, I'm pretty sure. The Nashidaka. Okay, we're seeing a little more balance now. It's not freaking out the way it was before. Man, this is the first time I recorded a video on my computer's charged. I'm gonna have to go running to my charger halfway through. And my computer's not freaking out. I think I had, like, in the bottom right corner of my screen, like, what the whole recording looked like. And I noticed that every time I remove that, so I can't even see what you guys are seeing right now. Like, I can't see myself right now. There's no, like, little me in the corner. But every time that's up, it crashes out. But every time it isn't there, I don't have no problems with lag and whatnot. So I'm just going to keep myself out of the equation, and it should be fine. Right here, let's see if we have any divergence. We'll see once this candle closes, but this will close in 1 minute. We have a lower low there. Let's see what we want it to do on the S&P. Yeah. Yep. So we got no divergence there. It's not really off a key level, so we probably won't until we got down to these lows. We might have divergence off of this low, and we'll see how that plays out. If we have divergence off this low to the upside, I kind of want to take a buy. If we have a strong, I mean, not obviously not as my only confluence. Yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I still gotta stick with my daily bias. It's been right more often than not, so I just give me a fair value gap, all right. A fair value gap, or I'll count it, taking this, pulling up into here, wicking into there, and then a deeper sell would also be great. Okay, there's no divergence on these as of right now. Those are both making higher. Those are the same. Interesting. Now it looks like it's switched. Now it looks like the NASDAQ is like volume was cooking on the NASDAQ earlier, but now I think volume has died. I mean, look at where this fair order block and breaker block are. You know, that's a good amount. There's some room to cover there. When we look on the NASDAQ, I mean, we're pretty much back into that order block and breaker block. I mean, we wicked into it. I mean, what was that? We wicked into it 10 minutes ago. So that actually feels better about my bias to sell. I would like to see that on the S&P as well, because if we're already if we were to target these lows and we're already kind of at those, it's not really what I would want to do. We'll wait it out. What a great day. I mean, coming into vacation, we were supposed to have, it was like Monday was supposed to be our nice day, and then progressively throughout the week, each day was supposed to get worse. And it turns out it was literally the complete opposite. We had our worst day, which was still like 60 and sunny on Monday, but it was a little bit cloudy, mostly cloudy Monday. But then consecutively every single day in the week got nicer and nicer and nicer. And yesterday was like 65, sunny, like hot, sunny, though, like island hot. And it rained the previous night. So like all the mist and whatnot made it like super, super kind of hot and humid. And I loved it. It felt great. But it was just great. It was so great because I was expecting kind of the week to kind of get worse, and it literally was the complete opposite. And you can never tell with islands. It's like you have a little piece of land in the middle of the ocean, and it's like, who the heck knows what the temperature is going to be. All right, so we seem... Nope, never mind. Never mind. All right, we got 2 minutes until 9:50, which is like my official time I could enter a trade. So the manipulation is kind of over. Now we're kind of just making the normal moves. I gotta say, last week I got to the point where like I'm still learning and watching YouTube videos, but I legitimately like have gotten to the point where like I don't know how to describe this. Like there's a point in learning just a new skill where every single day or every single video you're learning something that will like actually make a huge difference. Like you need to learn, you need to spend hours learning when you first start a new skill, especially like trading. I spent hours and hours and hours watching YouTube videos on how to trade and different market structure and all of that was so many videos, fair value gaps, liquidity sweeps, all of it. And every single video made a exponential difference in my knowledge and in my skill. But I feel like with everything in life, like you get to a point where you can confidently say with every video you watch, you get like incrementally better. Like you get to the point in the knowledge of learning something where you're like, okay, I'm not actually like every video I watch, I might have like there might be like one thing in it that I'm like, wow, that was something I needed to learn. But like the whole video, I'm like, okay, I know most of this stuff. And then at that point, it's like you actually have to start applying what you learn and what you have learned already to actually take that next jump. So last week I started actually just watching the market. Like I would, as if I was trading 9:50, I would, or 9:30, I would get on the charts. 9 o'clock, I'd get on the charts and just start looking at what the market was doing. And it wasn't like wanting to take, I wasn't willing to take a trade, but was just watching the candles, and watching the market move. And thinking about the things that I did learn from the videos as I was watching the market. I was marking out fair value gaps and what was a liquidity sweep, and I was marking out order blocks and breakup structures and session highs and session lows. And doing that, I learned more last week as far as like that next jump, because I was definitely getting all the knowledge. Those were the first like few months that I was learning. But then the last like week and even this week, I've just been learning a lot more by being in the markets. And you got to kind of know where you are. Like, don't go into the market and start like trying to, get a funded account and trading if you don't, if every video you watch is like still making you exponentially better. But if you're kind of like starting to realize that you're kind of stalling, then please go into the markets and actually start applying it, because that is where that next jump will be. Hope that made sense. I feel like that's kind of the case with everything in life, though, or at least like anytime you're trying to learn a new skill. Because I shoot wedding videos, and I remember when I got my camera years and years ago, it was like every single day I was like watching videos on how to edit and how to shoot and lighting and composition of the shot. And but then there was like after 6 months of doing that, I would watch like 4 YouTube videos, and I would learn like one thing from all those videos. And at that point, I was like, okay, I gotta just go outside and start filming stuff. And that is where like I actually took that next step. Kind of chopping it up right now, getting some consolidation. We'll see. I mean, now that the market's actually like where I'd enter, it might be a dud. I think if I don't get an entry by 10:15, not that I'm rushing, because again, if I don't trade, it's a win. I gotta keep telling myself that. But we'll see. We'll see what we want to do here. Still haven't taken out those lows on both the S&P and the NASDAQ. I would only want to take, I'd want it to come, and no matter what, I need it to come down here. So honestly, I'm not taking a trade or anything until we either get here or we get back to these highs up here. We're literally just in the middle right here, kind of just chopping it up on both the NASDAQ and the S&P. Again, if we go into here and we see a rejection, I'd also be willing to take a sell position. But until any of that happens, I'm just sitting on my hands. Let's see. I want to, man, that fair value gap is so strange. Like that order block is so strange here, because we did tap into it on the NASDAQ, but we didn't really get a clean rejection from it. And I just don't really want to trade on the NASDAQ today. Especially because it's just a Friday, and I haven't taken a trade on the NASDAQ yet. So it's just like as though although it's like similar, it's like for me that's almost like an added risk to take on a Friday. Where as of right now, I'm just not trying to add any extra risk to the week 'cause it is Friday, and I am profitable this week, so I want to leave it at that and not push my luck, and also just not change any variables. So I would definitely only be looking for sells on the S&P. Dude, look at that. Man, we're chopping it up right now. We're definitely seeing... I mean, we broke structure on the 1 minute. Move up. Yeah, we'll see. We might be pushing back down again. But broke structure on the 1 minute, which is good as far as getting back up into this zone. It's just hard because, I mean, since 9:30, these wicks, we've just been kind of, there's all these wicks, so there's no, I mean, I would never obviously, I would never take a trade off a fair value gap, but I think as far as, like, valid, I just love fair value gaps as far as, invalidating or validating direction. Yeah, this is definitely going right up into there. There it is. Okay. See what the Nasdaq is just doing absolutely nothing. It'd be great. I mean, I know we're gonna. Looks like we want to swipe out these lows, and you maybe even push a little bit lower. But I would love if it gave me an entry to swipe out those lows. I didn't even think that was a. I didn't even think that was a possibility. So we're above the 50%, right? The 0.5 right now. That 1 minute. Like that. We'll see how we react off of this. Don't get me wrong, we could definitely be breaking to the upside. I have noticed that at 950, for the most part, there tends to be a very strong reversal or a very strong continuation. Just what I've experienced these last few days. So this could definitely, I mean, this is at like what we would push, down, then boom, 950. We got a sign of, we got a sign of you know, we got to push up. I mean, there's not on that one, but I think on NASDAQ we did. I mean, NASDAQ, what in the heck? There is no volume on the NASDAQ today. Is that a FVG all along? Oh. Very interesting. Looks like we are rejecting it. So why does it look like I don't even think we got it. I think that literally is just equal. Again, the latest. I'm not looking to really enter any time. I have probably another 15 minutes where I would even consider entering a trade. So we tapped into the breaker block, the order block. This is as far as I'm looking for like the best setups. This is looking very good. I would like to see a break of structure on the 1 minute. And as an added confluence, hopefully below the EMA. Dude. Well, the NASDAQ has done just nothing. Okay, wait. What the heck was that? I mean, we grabbed all that liquidity right there. Well, my entry was cooked. Entry officially cooked. Wow. Well, yeah, 10 o'clock. Oh, man, that was great. Man, these wicks are so interesting. It almost makes me feel like it wants to push to the upside, but I'm still staying with my bias today. That is ridiculous. That is crazy. Isn't it 10? Why didn't this candle close? Unless that was that. Yeah, never mind. I'm bugging. That was this candle here. I guess you can call that a rejection from that zone. Let's see how we're looking here. I'm only risking to do 2 contracts. This could be a very nice sell. I'm leaning on the side of not trading today, though. It's like at this point, I don't really know. It's like I'm like, oh, I'm waiting for this, but that's like, at what point, what am I waiting for? Like we got all the confluences we would need to enter this sell right now, and I'm still kind of just like sitting on my hands on it. We honestly didn't grab it. Let's see if we did on NASDAQ. No, we didn't. Okay, well we definitely broke structure. We have a 1 minute fair value gap right there. Did it not invalidate it as of right now? Man, I should have sat in this chair all week. This is like getting my brain juices flowing a lot more than just being in the bed. Might have actually taken a W yesterday. I wasn't in the bed. We'll see if we can validate this 1 minute fair value gap. No. If this candle is red again, it's great. If not, see, this is why I'm glad I was kind of staying patient here. Because until this crazy manipulation at 10, this huge dump or whatever this is, we were still in an uptrend. Let me see if Nasdaq finally decided to. No. Yeah, I'm not loving this price action. If anything, the move was at 8:30 this morning. I mean, that was incredible. That was great. Like, we took out the lows. I mean, obviously you don't want to ever trade at that time, but like, I saw this building. I checked the chart, I think probably around, I checked the chart like literally around 8:15, and I saw all this and I was like, yeah, we're gonna want to take all this out. And that we did. So we have invalidated this 1 minute fair value gap. Go back to the 5 minutes so I can see where we are in this. We still have yet to invalidate this fair value gap. If it wasn't a Friday, I would take a sell right now. I would take a sell, yep, right now to probably these lows. If it wasn't a Friday, I would even go higher risk. I probably would go in with like 3 or 4 contracts. Target these lows, stops above here. So let's mock trade this. If I entered, I was gonna say right there, I would put stops above here. $1 to 1.5. Let's see how this would play out. Mock trade right here. This is my trade for the day. Unbelievable how the mental changes when it's demo. These wicks are very rough. I mean, this is showing that, you know, it's trying to push down, but it's not getting any light. We're not seeing any, like, this was like a very full close. Here with these wicks, it's not really a good sign that price wants to keep moving down. You might get stopped out. If we want to count, I got to remove some of this stuff. This stuff, now that I'm in this, let me get rid of all this crap. Get rid of all this junk here. There it is. Okay. Now I can see clearly. What was I going to say, though? I was about to say something. We did invalidate this fair value gap, but we still are in a downtrend. Man, there was something else I wanted to say. Oh, well, yeah. What I was going to say is, technically, this would be, you know, that would be an order block right there. And right here, we would have a breaker block. And we've wicked right into it. So, not bad. If we're just going to keep chopping up like NASDAQ, like, this is disgusting. This is, I can't even look at this. That is, you would never take a trade in this market. I was just kind of excited to trade demo. Again, I mean, I'm not counting this as a real trade. If I hit stop loss, whatever, if we just keep chopping up, whatever. Didn't want to actually trade on Friday, so or unless I saw everything I wanted, and obviously very clear price action at 950, which none of those things we saw. So this is more of just a fun trade. Would have I taken this on my actual account? No. That's why I didn't take it on my actual account. I'm gonna let this run for 5 more minutes. If not, I'm just gonna end the video. We'll either hit stop loss or take profit or nothing, and you won't know if my trade hits or not. But hopefully I gave some information about some decent information in this, and it was just nice making this video. So I hope you enjoyed just watching these candles with me. Man, I remember when I started watching breakdown videos like this, man, I would just sit there and it's so fun just watching the candles and like watching someone's video of it, and it's just entertaining. I just sat there and watched it the whole thing, just hour and a half. Let's say I entered with that day where I got, was that 180 or something? So this would be 180. This would be 360. Oh man. What's the times 2? Oh man. 270. So 3 contracts on micro would be 180 to win 270. A few more minutes. 4 more minutes. I don't think we're gonna hit either, unless we have something crazy. And my computer's. I got so excited about not having to charge my computer, but we gotta plug in my computer. It was honestly wishful thinking that I could get through a whole video. It really is the recording. Like, the recording Vimeo, I'm like, oh yeah, I have like 40% charge, I can make it through, 45 minutes. But then with the screen recording and all that and whatnot, it just drains the battery. Let's see what the NASDAQ is up to today. Consolidation station. Man, it's so cool to see the EMA, though. You really are right below it. Except the EMA is one of those things that, like, once it actually makes the move, not that, like, it corrects itself, but I don't know how to describe it. Like, it's a lot easier to see in hindsight. Like, oh, we were right here, so we took a sell or whatnot. It's like, but you never trade this because it's like, what would you have done right here then? Taking a sell, boom. I mean, yeah, it bounced off here, but it's like, yeah. You always can look at it in hindsight and be like, yep, oh yeah, right below that, yeah, you could have sold that. Oh yeah, I mean, even here, like, yep, kind of got faked out. Maybe you broke this targeting these. That's why you can't trade this, because it's just a nice like extra confluence. Like if it was a confluence, it would be like, I don't even know. I haven't even taken a sell off of it yet, or even used it as one. But I understand there is. It's like it's a legitimate confluence as far as confluences go. Two more minutes of ending this recording. We'll see if it hits or not. You won't know. If you want to know, go to Friday, May 16th, and go to 10:13 a.m. Right there. You have the timestamp right here. If you want to see if this trade hits, then go to the chart yourself. Go to the micro S&P, and it would probably hit around 10:20. So go to 10:20 a.m. It'll get you guys on the chart. That'll be your homework for this video. This is the ugliest downtrend of all time. Yeah, I had a feeling the second I started seeing this right here, I was like, I don't really want to take a trade today. Because usually at this time, there's a lot cleaner price action, especially at 950, and then we just kind of, you know, definitely not what I kind of wanted to see today. I mean, as far as like, it's fine for what, like, I mean, I'm okay with seeing it, but it's more of like a, to enter a trade, it's not what I wanted to see today. No. I mean, it might take all day, but it's not going to go like this for the next 7 hours. But definitely a lot harder to predict price action when it looks like this. I also knew I just didn't like I do love fair value gaps. I do think it's a very good confluence, as I said earlier. And with these wicks, there's no fair value gaps. There was one here, and we did invalidate it, but we were going, it was like there were 3 other, going into these breaker blocks, order blocks. There was, we were in a downtrend. We were, bias was bearish. We were, there was a lot more confluences, I guess. Like, let's say there was, like, these were all kind of bullish. We all had bullish confluences here, and then, or let's say we all had, what I'm trying to say? Like, if there were other confluences on top of this one breaking this structure, then if we already sweeped out, if we already sweeped out these lows, and then I would be looking at it a little bit differently. But as like a standalone confluence, I wouldn't have just taken a buy immediately off of this. All right. Barreling to our stop loss. It's 10:16. This video is long enough. Again, if you want to see what happens, come to around this time, and you'll see. But thank you guys for watching. I hope this was informative. It definitely, again, helped me, keep me accountable. I'm not really doing this for you as much as I like doing it. As much as, hopefully you get some value out of this, or at least, like, enjoyed just hanging out here and watching the charts. I'm really doing this for me. I'm doing this for my accountability. I'm doing this so I can look back, so I can learn, so I can get better. And I've already seen a huge difference this week as far as, if I didn't have this, I probably would have taken this, I would have actually traded today, and I probably would have gotten stopped out. So just making these videos has been huge. So whatever that means for you, if you need to record your videos, do it. If you need to journal, I like doing this because it feels more accountable. Like, other people can watch it. I can obviously write in my journal, don't do this, whatever. But I think accountability, if you actually want to change as a person, accountability is one of the biggest things that you could do. And journaling, and unless you're sharing that journal with someone else, or you have like a trading friend that you share it with, unless you do that, you're accountable to yourself, which, I mean, ultimately that is the goal. You want to get to that point where you don't need other people to, keep you accountable. As far as changing bad habits you might have, that having other people keep you accountable during that time where you're trying to change habits is great. So thank you guys for watching. I guess I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you guys next week.